Now at 7, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson bringing back the city's camping ban. What's expected to start and what you need to know.
And Starbucks is set to close a dozen stores across Oregon. Coming up, which Portland locations are on the chopping block.
And Portland rent prices are up. How much you can expect to pay for a one-bedroom apartment, plus listing scams that you should be on the lookout for. Sunrise streaming live at 7 starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green. We have Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by for a look at weather and traffic. Let's take a look at what your weather's looking like.
Yeah, really nice morning out there. We've had a little bit of passing cloudiness, and of course that adds to the beauty of the sunrise colors. So here's the Chehalem Tasting Room in Sherwood. Just gorgeous. Our biggest story this morning is probably the coolness out there. 43 out in Sherwood, and here's another pretty sunrise early shot. The sun is going to be popping up right there, still just a little bit north of Mount Hood. 51 degrees out at the airport. PDX was down to 49. So to the bus stop we go, generally in the 40s. If you're going to be spending some extended time, you're standing at the bus stop, have the kids with some jackets on. Later, though, really nice September weather again. Mostly sunny, 64 at noon, and we'll be back up to about 72 when the kids get out of school a little bit later today. Of course, your weekend forecast is coming up. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Let's take you to North Portland. Photojournalist Eric Patterson has just made the drive over the Interstate Bridge, passing the Expo Center, and that southbound commute is actually in fantastic shape this morning. So just to let you know, we're always watching it, but it is looking good. Monday through Thursday, it does not look this good. So you're in luck if you're hitting the roads early this morning. Over on the west side, we'll zoom into the Sunset. I've seen a little bit of brake tapping continuously here from the zoo into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. That's right there near the Jefferson exit ramp, but that's really the only sort of slow spot we have, and it's barely registering here in the drive time fun meter. 16 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough. China, so far, no major freeway trouble out there just yet.
Thank you, Chris. A man who shot at police officers during a standoff in Portland's Woodlawn neighborhood last year has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. This is video from the video cam from the incident. 25-year-old Jesse Cams West was found guilty on multiple felony counts, including attempted murder. Prosecutors say when officers stopped West, he was in a stolen car, refused to surrender, and fired 6 rounds at officers. Police returned fire, hitting and injuring West. No officers were hurt. And in North Portland, police are investigating a drive-by shooting at Dawson Park. Authorities responded to reports of shots fired along North Williams just after 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. No one was injured, but investigators say that they found shell casings in the street and a damage to a picnic shelter. Federal investigators have arrested a man accused of running a sophisticated mail theft scheme, but catching him wasn't easy because he reportedly swung from his 13th floor apartment onto a neighbor's balcony, then escaped through that unit, down the stairs and out the building before investigators arrested him a day later. Kyla Boshi has more.
Federal prosecutors say this man, Michael Peters, is the mastermind behind an elaborate mail theft operation. The 48-year-old is now facing federal charges. In court records, federal investigators shared images from security cameras showing Peters entering various apartment and condo buildings in northwest and southwest Portland between May and August of this year. They say he stole mail and committed nearly $30,000 in bank and wire fraud. Mark Pinkerton lives in one of the buildings Peters hit.
It's always something.
So how'd he get in? Prosecutors say Peters had counterfeit master keys used by postal workers to open collection boxes.
It's not uncommon, especially when people let people in here.
This resident said management posted a photo of the suspect, warning tenants.
That one.
That's the one they hit up?
Yeah.
Investigators identified Peters by comparing photos on social media. An eyewitness also helped. Peters has a criminal history in California and Hawaii for similar crimes. A judge ordered he remain behind bars while awaiting trial.
That was Kyla Boshi reporting. Lost and stolen master keys being used to open collection boxes has been an ongoing issue for the Postal Service. As a result here, the Postal Service has been keeping closer tabs on those master keys and is working to replace them with electronic locks. Your time now is 7:04. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says he may bring back the city's camping ban November 1st because back in February, Mayor Wilson paused the enforcement. Now he says the city has enough shelter beds to resume it. The ban first took effect last July. People camping on public public property who refuse shelter could face tickets or fines of up to $100 or even a week in jail. Oregon law allows camping bans only if there's available shelter. In a statement this week, Mayor Wilson said in part, "We cannot arrest our way out of homelessness, nor should we. We must, however, return to enforcing our existing codes on open drug use, illegal dumping, blocked right-of-way, fire, and other sanitation and quality of life issues. Individuals who engage in unlawful behavior will be subject to citation. These citations will involve warrant checks."
And I applaud him for moving in this direction. We all wish it had happened sooner.
We are hopeful that this can be good for those who are experiencing homelessness, that hopefully they can get holistic care, not just get kicked off the street.
And on the story, KGW spoke with city shelter staff about how new overnight shelters are affecting neighborhoods. You can watch that anytime right here on KGW+. All right, you may have to drive a little further to get your pumpkin spice latte in Portland because Starbucks has announced it's closing non-performing stores across the country, including a few here in our area. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live in Southwest Portland from one location in Multnomah Village that is included in the cuts. Corey.
That's right, China. More than a dozen Starbucks locations are set to close across Oregon. 5 are located in the Portland area in particular, including the one here on Capitol Highway. Now, the company announced Thursday it's closing 1% of their coffee shops nationwide, calling it significant action to turn around its struggling business. The closures are at locations across Southwest, Northeast, and downtown Portland. They include the one at PSU, 2 on Burnside Street, including the one next to Zupans, the Starbucks inside the Pacific West building downtown, and the one where we are currently on Capitol Highway. Now, local customers say they'll be sad to see those locations close their doors.
Me and Dylan love to come here both after school, before school. It's a great place to like hang out, do homework. Yeah, it's sort of like a safe space for all kids to go. Like, let's say your mom like got the wrong time and you need like somewhere to be, like that's the perfect spot.
Now, we did speak with customers, as you just heard, who were sad to see or will be sad to see some of the Starbucks locations close. But we also spoke with other customers who say the closures could actually be a good thing for local businesses. We have that part of the story coming up at 8. China.
Corey, thank you. And among the Starbucks closing are Seattle's 2 flagship Reserve stores. Yesterday, workers and customers arrived to find the Capitol Hill and Soto locations boarded up. Employees told us at their sister station in Seattle that they received a text saying that there would be an 8 a.m. company phone call. It turned out to be a recorded message that their job was lost and that they would receive 60 days of pay. Earlier this week, workers staged a rally in response to understaffing, low pay, and alleged retaliation for organizing. And now it's left some wondering if shutting the low Reserve locations was the company's response.
We were offered any type of like transfer, any type of other solution besides, sorry, you're done.
So last year, Starbucks laid off 1,100 corporate employees, which remains the largest layoff in the company's history. All right, your time now is 7:08. Rod Hill, you look like a pumpkin spice guy.
You know, no, here's what I'm not a fan of. The syrup in the coffees, I just feel it all over my teeth. So I don't really do syrups in the coffee.
Oh, like the sweet syrups.
Yeah, yes, I don't do
Got it, yes.
But thank you, because I think that was a compliment that I look like a pumpkin spice guy. Here's our Timberline Lodge sky camera. Looking up over the summit, mostly sunny skies, and it's 48. It's basically the same up high as it is down low this morning. So if you're going up in the Cascades, expect similar temperatures to what we'll have here in the valley. Generally 60s up at pass level during the afternoon. We'll be 70s here in Portland. Here's the Vancouver waterfront camera. We've just been marveling at how pretty and glassy the Columbia River is. This is from the springs at the waterfront. 47, that's at Pearson Airfield, which basically sits right across the river from PDX. And here is the Chehalem Tasting Room camera looking at partly cloudy skies, and the sun is now up. It's trying to rise off into the east. 43 is the number. 50 in downtown Portland now, but mostly we're still in the 40s. In fact, 41 in Battleground, 43 in Beaverton and Sherwood. Salem, you're at 45. Dallas, good morning to you. 43 is your temperature. And then this afternoon, here we go with 60s at the coast. Another mostly sunny, fabulous September day. And generally 70s inland, all areas, 75 down in Albany. So we still expect a dry weekend. Some cloudiness passing at times, but mainly sunny today and tomorrow, 75, 78. Now Sunday we cloud over, 74, but we stay dry. And then it's that first wave of rain Sunday overnight into Monday morning. And then we have rain at times Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Snow levels could get actually below 6,000 feet at times next week. So we may have some fun snow cameras at some point to show you from Timberline Lodge. And that is your update.
That sounds like an assignment for one of our newest reporter anchors, maybe.
Yes.
Oh, it's a Timberline Lodge in the snow. It's a good thing Corey's not listening right now. All right, let's go ahead and pick up the drive in Westland. I-205, there's your southbound commute. Pretty sunrise, as Rod's been mentioning. And the drive getting a little bit busier. The headlights, it might be hard to see, but the headlights there, that's the southbound drive over the Abernathy Bridge between Oregon City and Westland. We're still in pretty good shape over there. We are riding the brakes a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. This is Highway 26. That said, that drive time in from Hillsborough is really not bad, 15 minutes at last check. And finally, to the south side of town we go. This is in Tualatin, I-5 at the 205 interchange. Rolling along just fine there. No major trouble on that side of town either. China, we are still off to a really good start for our Friday morning commute.
Thank you, Chris.
This bridge has exceeded my expectations. I couldn't be prouder of our city staff, our architects, our general contractor.
The Sherwood Mayor beaming over their new bridge, still to come on Sunrise. A look at the city's colorful new 230-foot span over Highway 99W. Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Sherwood has a new landmark, a bike pedestrian bridge that city leaders say will keep students safe and bring the community closer together. Chris McGinnis joins us in the studio with more of a preview of this. Chris?
Yeah, China, this is a cool bridge. It's been in the making for years. It spans Highway 99W, connecting the east and west sides of Sherwood. City leaders say it's about more than safety. It's about identity and pride.
So we have this highway that separates our town east and west.
99W carries about 42,000 vehicles per day through the heart of Sherwood.
So it's hard for people to get back and forth. And we're a town that is known for its trail system and its sense of community. And then the school district decided to put a new high school in, which is great. It's an amazing school. And that really accelerated this question, how do we get something in to protect our students and provide that connectivity between the two sides of town?
Now, a sweeping new bridge connects neighborhoods, the high school, and the local YMCA.
We opened right before school started, and we're $1 million under budget, so I couldn't be happier.
The bridge is practical, and it's a statement. At night, it transforms into something spectacular.
The first thing I noticed was all the people on the bridge. The lights make it just wonderful. You do feel like you're in a special place when you walk across the bridge.
From above, the color-changing LED lights make the bridge appear as a glowing wave across the highway. On game nights, it will even shine in Sherwood-Bowman red and black.
When you're sitting in the stands over there, you get to see the bridge all lit up with the Bowman colors. So that's going to be pretty cool too.
Jerry and Martha Joy think it's pretty cool too.
It's beautiful. The bridge is beautiful, and the improvement is gorgeous and very, very nice.
Quite a bridge. The official ribbon cutting is this Saturday at 10 a.m. The high school marching band will be among the very first to cross the new Sherwood Bridge. Project leaders hope that this will keep students safe and bring the community even closer together. Guys.
Thank you, Chris. And the historic Columbia River Highway will reopen by 5 p.m. tonight. The section between Larch Mountain Road and Vista House has been closed since July for landslide repairs. Crews installed new drainage pipes, soil anchors, and mesh to stabilize the slope. Officials say drivers may still see occasional lane closures for final touches. All right, your time now is 7:16. We are going to take a look at the Wells Fargo Skycam right now as the sun starts to inch on up. And now let's go to Rod Hale to take a look at what the weather will look like today.
Sunrise looks better than me. A really pretty shot out there. Good morning to you. Thank you, China. This is another fabulous September day, all dry and for the most part, including the coast, as you can see behind me, mainly sunny. Some passing cloudiness like we had yesterday late in the day, but mainly sunny. Chinook Wiz Casino Resort in Lincoln City. It's been a cool start. Pretty much everybody at the coast and the Willamette Valley at one time or another has dipped into the 40s this morning. Typical for late September, but something we haven't seen a lot of in terms of such widespread temperature dips, if you will. Here's our really pretty shot. Look at that. Mainly clear over the state capitol this morning in the Capitol Mall. And there's the coolness, 45 with calm winds down in Salem. And here's downtown Portland. We're looking off to the west where it's mainly clear. You saw the rising sun from the east shot, 51 at PDX. The airport was down to 49 an hour or so ago. There's 48 in Kelso, 40s all the way down the coast, 43 down Florence. Ben's at 41. Burns is now freezing at 31 degrees. So we have ourselves a dry weekend. We have mostly sunny for the valley, 70 plus today. Mostly sunny, 70 plus tomorrow. Sunday, it looks like we cloud over in Portland. Could be cloudy all day at the coast. And this shows late day evening rain totals coming to the coast. That rain comes into the valley Sunday overnight. We'll wake up Monday and we think we'll have some wet roads out there. And then here is the update on the Monday, Tuesday, 2-day rain totals, which is what I've been showing you. Widespread amounts all the way to the Idaho border. Over an inch at the coast, a quarter to more in the valley. Pretty similar to what the model was picking up yesterday. Now we're going to add to that Wednesday, and we're going to add to it Thursday. So for the 4 days, could there be over 2 inches at the coast? And we have some parts of the valley not only go over a half of an inch of rain, but reach an inch. That's what this model says could happen. And then again, decent rain amounts out across eastern Oregon. So we think 4 days of measurable rainfall. If we get 4 consecutive days of measurable rain in Portland, we have not done that since May. In fact, we haven't had more than back-to-back days of measurable rainfall since May. So here we go, right? Back to today's weather, just fabulous. 60s at the coast, winds generally light, northwest 5 to 15. Valley numbers up into the 70s. It shows Corvallis 77 degrees. Southwest Washington also reaching 70 or better. Longview, for example, 74. And here's Portland 7 days, 75, 78, becoming cloudy but staying dry Sunday, 74. And then the rainy weather and in the 60s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then again, if you're just joining us, all of the red flag warnings for fire danger that were up yesterday afternoon, those have been canceled. Winds in the Dalles and Pendleton will be mostly 10 to 15 miles per hour today, so good news there. Here's Chris.
Rod, my friendly reminder for next week's rain. Check your tire tread.
Yeah,
maybe replace your windshield wipers.
Yeah.
All right, let's get you out the door. The drive is in really good shape this morning out of Clark County. Zipping along at pretty close to speed limit commute here, despite it getting busier over the Interstate Bridge and the Glen Jackson Bridge. No major trouble on that side of town. Speaking of bridges, let's take you to the Abernathy Bridge, the trip over the Abernathy Bridge. The headlights here, that's the southbound I-205 drive between Oregon City and Westland. Of course, the northbound commute's going to have that blinding sun to deal with. Lots of trouble to have on a Friday morning, right? If sunshine's the only problem we have, we're doing all right. The inbound drive coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel, we're riding the brakes just a little bit there. Still, barely registering here on the drive times. It's a 15-minute commute to get you in from Brookwood Parkway to I-405 and over on the east side, I-84 westbound. Again, getting busier, but so far, no major trouble as we roll along on this Friday morning. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. President Donald Trump has once again alluded to sending federal resources to Portland to stop ongoing protests at the ICE facility on the South Waterfront.
Take a look at Portland sometime. These are wild, these are crazy people, and they're trying to burn down buildings, including federal buildings. And on my list of things that I want to do before we finish up with the cities, because I think we're going to whip the cities back into shape, but we have to. We cannot let our cities. And that's a small example, but it's the most violent example. It's every night, and they've done it for years.
The president also claimed that many of the protesters at the South Waterfront are paid agitators. Meantime, President Trump announced a new round of tariffs he says will kick in next Wednesday. They include a 100% import tax on pharmaceuticals, a 50% tax on kitchen cabinets, 30% on upholstered furniture, 25% on heavy trucks. The president said foreign manufacturers are those products are flooding the U.S. market and hurting domestic producers. Now to your morning rush. The White House Budget Office is warning of mass firings if there is a government shutdown. The memo directs federal agents to target programs not legally required to continue. It's a shift from how past shutdowns were handled and comes as the Trump administration faces a funding stalemate with Democrats. The memo also orders agencies to flag programs that will lose money if Congress misses the September 30th deadline. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted. He's charged with making a false statement and obstruction. It's the first time that a former FBI director has ever been charged in U.S. history. The case stems from Comey's 2020 Senate testimony. He denies any wrongdoing. And President Trump has signed an executive order for a new deal that could transfer majority ownership of TikTok to Americans. The deal will likely take more time to be finalized, but TikTok Chinese parent company ByteDance and its affiliates will own less than 20% of the app. Certain investors will retain 80% ownership, but it's still not clear who all parties in the deal are, but President Trump has said Oracle and its co-founder will play a big role. And a massive sinkhole opened up in Bangkok, Thailand, part of a street collapse swallowing cars and electrical poles. Fortunately, no one was hurt here. Officials believe the collapse was caused by the construction of an underground train, and that's your morning rush. Oregon Congresswoman Maxine Dexter is accusing the Trump administration of going back on its promises to focus on criminals in its immigration crackdown. A representative Dexter, a Democrat, has been outspoken against local families getting detained by ICE. Just last week, she and other lawmakers held hearings to highlight the story of a local mother and her children who were detained at the U.S.-Canadian border. KGW Stephanie Domerat asked the Congresswoman about her involvement in the cases.
There is no question we need immigration reform in this country. We need people who are legally in this country, able to work and following our laws, without question. Donald Trump's promise to be getting rid of criminals and drug trafficking, and that is not these families that we are tearing apart.
The Trump administration has argued that living in the country without proper documentation in of itself is a crime. Now, you can catch this week's Straight Talk over the weekend or Monday evening at 7 or right here on KGW+. Thanks to a recent grant, students at Southeast Portland School are adding some nature to their classes. The funds are from the East Multnomah Soil and Water Conservation District, and they help Tucker Maxson School revitalize its garden and hire an experienced garden teacher. The goal is to help teach students about where their food comes from and how to grow their own.
We've become so disassociated with our food systems that we sometimes don't even realize that broccoli grows in a plant in our backyard. We think that food only comes from the supermarket, but really we can all be stewards of the earth in our backyard by growing vegetables and fruits.
Tucker Maxson School has been in the community for more than 80 years and focuses on hands-on learning for both deaf and hearing students. Coming up in our next half hour, a murder suspect back in custody after being mistakenly released from prison. We have the updated story coming up. Plus, Portland rent prices up, what you can expect to pay for one-bedroom apartments, and listing scams that you should be on the lookout for.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Coming up on 7:29 on your Friday morning drive, a live look at the trip through North Portland. It never looks like this Monday through Thursday, but on Fridays we like to say Friday light, as in lighter than usual traffic volume, and that's what we're looking at. The trip out of Clark County looks good. Over on the west side, tapping the brakes a bit, coming down the hill from the zoo into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. That said, 17 minutes from Hillsborough to I-405 is not bad on a Friday. Rod?
Isn't it crazy? Just a few people taking Friday off for a long weekend in the traffic. Fantastic. Thank you, Chris. We have another gorgeous day coming up. We had some passing clouds, but now it's clear over Salem. It's cool outside. A fall nip that we haven't had a whole lot of yet. 45 in Salem. Now, PDX was down to 49, now at 51. You can see the sunny skies over the city. So here we go. Partly cloudy looking off to the east this morning, but this will be a mainly sunny day. 64 degrees at noon, 75 the expected high. We still have a dry weekend. More sun tomorrow, clouding over on Sunday, and there's that rainy pattern that arrives Sunday overnight into Monday morning. Each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, expecting rain.
Good morning. Sherwin-Williams just picked its 2026 color of the year, and it's universal khaki.
Khaki?
Yeah, the company calls it a relaxed, go-with-anything shade that brings a timeless look to your home.
The time is the 80s, actually. That's when khaki was in.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, according to them, experts say it's all about balance. Easy to live with and built to last. If you want to test out, so samples are already ready up on the Sherwin-Williams website. 80s.
80s men's khaki pants were it, man. Everybody had a pair of khaki dress slacks. Everybody. Yeah.
And that color seems like it's like the outdoor shade of every other house, like in Sun River and all those places that would have blended in with.
And Las Vegas.
Which reminds me, why would you want to do that?
So we're saying thumbs down to the color of the year? Is that what we're doing?
It's kind of boring.
I agree.
I agree. Thumbs down. Come on.
Thumbs down.
We say thumbs down.
All right. Do better.
Okay, here's a look. What do we know? Here's, if it's on sale, by the way, I'll paint my house khaki. Here's a look at our Chinook West Casino Resort camera. We've got beautiful sunshine. My goodness, 45 degrees. It'll be in the 60s today for you folks. This is another just classic, wonderful late September day in terms of sun and in terms of what the temperatures will be doing. We're 51 now in Portland. Most of you are still in the 40s. There's absolutely a morning chill outside. But by noon, we'll be in the 60s. And then later today, we get up to 75 degrees. We choose blue, by the way, for our weather graphics. Here's Chris.
Thank you, color consultant Rod Hill. All right, what color do we have here on the traffic map? So far, we've got a bright sunrise in West Lynn, so your northbound commute, you can't even see it because the sun is so bright. This is over the Abernathy Bridge. The southbound commute's over there. That looks pretty good. As we check out the drive times out of Clark County, green. And from a traffic world, green is good, right? We're zipping along at a speed limit commute on that side of town. Meanwhile, riding the brakes a little bit on the Sunset, tapping the brake coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel, but not bad. Yellow is your drive coming in from Hillsborough right now. 18 minutes gets you in from Brookwood Parkway to I-405. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. The murder suspect mistakenly released from the Multnomah County Jail is now back in custody. 26-year-old Tyler Sage was released earlier this week despite a judge's order to keep him behind bars. Deputies say U.S. Marshals helped arrest Sage yesterday afternoon at a gas station off Highway 101 in Florence. Sage is charged with second-degree murder in connection with the 2021 shooting in Gresham that left a 15-year-old dead. He will now be booked into jail on a no-bail hold. And we are learning more about the car believed to be involved in Wednesday's deadly hit-and-run crash on North Marine Drive. Police are searching for a driver of a 2010 to 2016 Cadillac SRX, which is a crossover SUV. And while police don't know the color of the car, authorities say it would have damage to the front bumper on the passenger side. The crash happened just before 11 o'clock Wednesday night on North Marine Drive near Anchor Way. One woman was killed. Anyone with information should contact Portland Police. To Vancouver now, where police used a drone to track down a man suspected of domestic violence and later found him hiding in an attic. Officers say that they responded to a home for a restraining order violation. When they sent in the drone, they spotted the attic door was open and found the suspect hiding there under the insulation. The suspect is now in jail and facing multiple charges, including burglary and 8 protection order violations. In central Washington, authorities are officially closing the murder investigation into Travis Decker. The sheriff's office announced that DNA from clothing and human remains found last week were a match for Decker. He's accused of killing his 3 young daughters, which triggered a months-long manhunt across the Pacific Northwest.
It's a big day for Chelan County Sheriff's Office, all of our federal partners, that we can finally bring a close to this dark chapter of Chelan County. Certainly pay respects to the deaths of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. We wanted to show honor to them. Let them know that we never forgot about them. We haven't forgot about their family.
Authorities found partial remains on Grindstone Mountain in the Leavenworth area. The medical examiner is now working to figure out when and how Decker died. Communities across the country are honoring the memories of people whose lives were cut short by murder. That includes a vigil in Vancouver last night to remember a mother and daughter who were killed by a man who had just been released from jail. Alma McCarty has her story.
At Esther Short Park in Vancouver.
Today is a day that compels us to pause and reflect on that devastating impact
of homicide.
A candlelight memorial, a remembrance of lives lost to violence and the lasting impact of murder.
Tragedy that could have crushed us, literally crushed the life out of us, didn't. And on top of that, we're not alone.
Loved ones of victims sharing their grief and their strength.
Forget, say their names, because it makes it more powerful. We can't give the people who took them away power.
And their ongoing fight for justice and change.
We continue to be afraid, and we're not going to stand up for what we know is correct and right and just. We're going to see more and more people show up at these events, and it's going to be for the wrong reason.
Michelle Bart of the National Women's Coalition Against Violence and Exploitation explained this event is one way to be part of a solution.
We had many clients here tonight, and their cases aren't closed yet, and we still have work to do.
Among those honored Thursday evening, Michelle Melendez and her daughter Layla Stewart, who were killed back in March 2023.
Her family and friends were all out here in force tonight. The balloons were for the girls. Lots of the decorations were for the girls.
Their deaths at the hands of Kirkland Warren, Michelle's ex-boyfriend who pleaded guilty last year. And last week, the family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Clark County, alleging that the county negligently put the mother and daughter in danger by allowing Warren to be released from jail. He murdered them while out on bail. He's now serving a life sentence.
We'll never understand their reasoning, so it's not even worth trying. What is worth trying is making sure they can't ever do it again.
In Vancouver, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Hip-hop icon Ice Cube is speaking out after a fire broke out on one of his tour buses in Portland. One of the bus tires burned while he was in the Rose City for his Truth to Power tour. In a statement, Ice Cube said that he is not taking this incident as a personal attack, adding that, quote, a coward like that would burn anybody's property that was out there at any time. Portland Fire couldn't confirm the cause, but say they are investigating. The Moda Center just received a major upgrade with the Trailblazers unveiling new digital screens, including a significantly larger Jumbotron. Devin Haskins went to go check it out.
This is the third iteration of the Jumbotron here at the arena. Each time the Jumbotron's getting bigger and brighter than the previous one. The last one lasting from 2007 to the end of last season. This Jumbotron more than 50% larger.
This is probably the biggest transformational change to the in-bowl experience here at Moda Center.
The new center display is 56% bigger than the previous one. The Blazers spent over a year and a half designing and building them, visiting other arenas and asking players and coaches what they wanted. Underneath the large Jumbotron, new screens on the underside so fans sitting closer to the court have an easier time looking up. On the ends of the arena, two large corner boards that will fill with stats that are normally seen on the broadcast version, as well as a 15-foot by 136-foot long screen in the middle, all to get fans hyped up.
Over the last few years, updating and improving our broadcast, and as we did that, the fans in the building were getting less and less information, so we're like, how do we rectify that? And so with these video boards, you obviously see a lot of stats and things on them now, and I think that will be primarily what they're used for, and that will be great.
And the first time fans can see it in person for themselves, FanFest, October 4th, here at the Moda Center. I'm Devin Haskins, KGW News.
And by the way, we are less than 4 weeks out from the start of the NBA season. The Blazers kick things off at the Moda Center against the Timberwolves on October 22nd. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, big day for the Oregon Ducks as they take on Penn State. KGW will have live coverage from Pennsylvania starting tonight and tomorrow. That includes pre-game special coverage and countdown to kickoff on Saturday at 3:30, followed by the game itself right here on KGW at 4:30. Rod Hill.
Yes.
I'm not a betting man, but I would be betting that you would be watching that game.
Oh, there's a handful of games I want to see this weekend. But yeah, that one's right up at the top. Going to be one of the best games of the season.
I'm excited,
Expected to be, right? Yeah. Here's our Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club camera out in Loa. We had the early morning clouds. They have passed off to the east. And now for the most part, it's just a clear, beautiful start. Let's see what the temperature is. Well, 51. So almost, actually, I think every single temperature site I looked at this morning was in the 40s at one point. So the sun's up, 7:30 half hour. Numbers are starting to rebound somewhat, but it's a cool start. This is partly cloudy still looking out to the east and mid 40s out in Sherwood from the Chehalem Tasting Room camera. And here are the numbers. So the airport, which is close to a low, the airport in Hillsborough is still 43. Beaverton's the same. So yeah, an early morning fall chill. The wind is pretty much just calm, sunshine, beautiful morning. 42 in Estacada, Dallas, and Corvallis. Look at McMinnville out in Yamhill County. Good morning to you folks. You're sitting at 40 right now. And that means somebody's got to be saying, hey, we dipped into the 30s, right? Somebody's got to be doing that. Here's the temperature March this morning, 60 at 11 a.m., 62 at noon, and then approaching 70, it looks like, at 2 o'clock. And I do have us up into the low to mid 70s this afternoon. So just a beautiful, classic late September day. Here is Charlie, just an absolutely wonderful photo. A little bit of wind there with the profile. Dog of the day at kgw.com. You basically use that email address, just attach your dog's photo and name. Your dog will become our dog of the day. That's Charlie this morning. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, here's the forecast map. Everybody's sunny. It is clear at the beach right now as well. So 60s at the coast. Winds are back down to being generally light to 5 to 15. All red flag warnings for fire danger yesterday. They expired last night. And today the Dalles to Pendleton. Generally, the winds are expected to be northwest 10 to 15, gusting no more than 20. So wonderful weather. You see inland areas generally in the 70s. And here's the 7-day. We're still projecting a dry weekend. Sun today, 75. Sun tomorrow, 78. Becoming cloudy, but staying dry Sunday, 74. And then wet roads when you wake up Monday morning, and then it's rain at times. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Chris, I did some checking. 4 days in a row, actually just 3 days in a row, of manageable rainfall would be the longest stretch since we did, I think it was 6 days in a row back in mid-May, sir.
That's noteworthy, as is the sunshine this morning. Check this out. Photojournalist Eric Patterson is driving right into the sunrise here at I-205. We're at that time of the year where the sun at this time of the morning is still low on the horizon. So never mind the sunglasses. You probably need your welder's mask for some of those eastbound commutes this morning. That said, the drive is actually in pretty good shape on that side of town. We'll take you to North Portland, I-5 up near the Expo Center. Again, Monday through Friday, this would be lined up, Monday through Thursday. But Friday morning commutes tend to be a little lighter, and this is the case up near the Expo Center right now. You do hit a little bit of traffic south of Lombard, but that's not so bad. The trip in from Clark County, about 11 minutes now from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. We'll be right back.
A big price tag for smaller space coming up. We break down how much Portland renters are actually getting for their money.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
In the fall season, the rental market slows down and it's a lot easier to find a place to live. But despite that, some Portland renters are feeling the squeeze as prices continue to climb. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson takes a look at how far your rent money is stretching compared to just 5 years ago. Corey.
That's right, China. In 2020, $1,500 meant more choices, often a one-bedroom apartment in a neighborhood close to work or transit. But now some renters say in Portland that same budget doesn't go as far as it used to. Now in Portland, the average one-bedroom rents for about $1,530 a month, with an average size of about 645 square feet. That's according to apartments.com. Now pre-pandemic, that same budget would have landed closer to 750 to 800 square feet. That extra footage is enough for a small home office or living area that renters simply aren't getting now. So why is this happening? Housing experts point to a mix of inflation, high demand, and slower wage growth. I spoke with Zillow experts who say wages aren't increasing as quickly as rent prices. Now, that Zillow expert did tell me that right now we're seeing in Portland the typical rent is $1,730 a month. That's up 22% prior to the pandemic. So in order to be able to afford a rental in Portland right now, according to Zillow data, you would need to make about $75,000 a year. Prior to the pandemic, that salary range sat at about $60,000. So quite a difference there. Now, there are a few steps that you can take if you want to get the best bang for your buck and you are on the rental market. We'll break those steps down from Zillow experts coming up at 8. China.
Thank you, Corey. And NBC News has been investigating a growing scam on social media, fake apartment listings. So here's how it works. The scammers will copy videos of real apartment listings and post them on fake accounts to prey on renters looking for housing. The scammers list the apartments far below market rate with the intent of luring potential renters to send an application fee before the deal disappears. Now, several high-profile real estate influencers on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook say that they have become a target for these scammers who copy their videos.
None of these accounts are actually yours?
They're not mine, no.
But that's your picture.
They're all my picture,
And your name.
Honestly, I would put in my stomach looking at that. I mean, it's horrible.
How many of these accounts have popped up over the last couple of years?
Let's say I put down one today. If I report it to whatever social media channel, maybe 2 goes up the next day. So it's like, it's such a whack-a-mole situation where I'm not sure, I've lost count.
The FBI says this kind of scam is becoming common. NBC was able to find dozens of fake accounts from all over the country. They reported them to Meta and TikTok, but TikTok says it's removed 97% of content that violated its guidelines on impersonation in the first quarter of this year. Meanwhile, Meta says it uses automated and manual systems to block accounts that abuse the company's standards. Now for a look at your consumer headlines, Joanna Gaines is getting her own Mattel doll. Yeah, the Magnolia co-founder figure features flared jeans, sunglasses, and a t-shirt with her birth year, 1978. Pre-orders are now open. The doll hits the Target shelves in December. Amazon has agreed to a $2.5 billion settlement with the Federal Trade Commission. This comes after allegations that Amazon tricked customers into signing up for Prime memberships and made it difficult to cancel those memberships. Amazon will pay $1 billion in civil penalties and $1.5 billion back to users who were unintentionally enrolled in Prime or deterred from canceling their subscriptions. Chick-fil-A testing a new drink restaurant concept called Daybright. The shop will serve coffee, smoothies, and juices, but no Chick-fil-A food. The first location opens this fall in Atlanta. Other chains like Taco Bell, McDonald's have launched similar drink spots. Rod Hill, it seems like you are not a fan of the drink-only place.
No, I got to have the chicken. I really like Chick-fil-A. My experience as a customer is best run fast food joint there is.
Oh, for sure. They're so nice.
You know, McDonald's launched their, what do they call it? The McCafe brand. It's been a long time ago. And then you came out with their different coffees and all of that. So it's funny how there just seems to be so much money in these basically $5 drinks items that apparently we all want, right? So yeah, I wouldn't mind just a French fry only place.
Yeah, let's workshop that.
Here's a look at one of our live cameras. It's a gorgeous morning. Been a pretty easy week for the old weather forecaster. That will change next week as we get into the first 4-day run of manageable rainfall since May. We haven't had 4 days in a row of manageable rain since May. So it will definitely feel like fall and things will slowly get pretty soaked, I think, next week. So enjoy the sun. We're going to have it today. We're going to have it tomorrow. There's our Salem sky camera, and you can see some fall colors. That's really pretty, right? Just gorgeous. 45. Winds are calm. Another pretty shot. The Columbia River during our morning show has just been fabulous this week. There's some more reflections in the glassy waters. The springs at the waterfront is the location here, and there's the pier you can walk out on over the Columbia River. 47 degrees. Considering that pretty much every single reporting site at one point or another was down to the 40s this morning, it's been the coolest morning overall that we have seen so far this fall. Everybody has sun, everybody has light winds. 57 out in the Dalles. All red flag warnings for high fire danger have been canceled. Good news there. As winds in the gorge and out to Pendleton will generally be in the 10 to 15 or no more than west at 20 mile per hour range today. Here's the Futurecast movie for your weekend. Today's simple, sunshine. Tomorrow's pretty simple, sunshine. This is a passing ribbon of clouds. We had that late yesterday, same type of thing. But even at the beach, expect sunshine tomorrow, generally. And then Sunday's a different story. Now we'll cloud over. The beach probably cloudy all day Sunday. Portland becomes cloudy, but we'll stay dry except for getting into the evening or maybe late afternoon. We'll start to see some raindrops approach the coast. And here's the first wave of rain Sunday evening at 10 p.m. And then that will come into the valley overnight into Monday morning. So again, that's our big story, this wet weather pattern, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. All right, this is rain Sunday evening at 8 o'clock at the beach. Here's the 2-day rain total Monday through Tuesday, showing widespread amounts statewide, over an inch at the coast, over 1/4 inch in the valley. Then we add Wednesday, we add Thursday. And I don't know if this is true or not, but it shows there could be over 2 inches at the beach for the 4-day period next week. And it shows 1/2 inch or more for the valley, that some spots may get up to about 1 inch of rain over the 4-day period. And then again, some nice rain amounts out across other areas of our state, which will take us one step further towards really getting rid of fire season. We'll need several of these episodes to do that, of course. All right, mid-70s today, beautiful sunshine in Salem. Will be 70 or better up in Cowlitz County, 74 there. Battleground, 75 in Clark County. 78 tomorrow in Portland. The cloudy but dry Sunday becoming cloudy, 74. And there's the rainy pattern Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, here is Chris McGinnis.
Really glad we got the roof finished last week.
Yeah.
Really glad about that. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and pick up the sunset inbound, staring at the sunrise. This is out near Bethany and that eastbound commute. Again, at various times of the year when the low-angle sun coincides with the heart of the morning commute, we get the sunshine slowdowns, and I think that's exactly what we're looking at here. A little tight coming through the Bethany area, but not bad. That said, the drive has jumped up significantly in the last 15 minutes now. We're looking at just shy of 30 to get you in from Hillsborough to I-405. Westbound I-84 starting to pick up as well. Some of our other drive times, 205 out of Clark County, no problem. I-5, no problem over the Interstate Bridge, but we do start to hit the brakes a little bit coming in from Lombard down to the Fremont Bridge. And that's your traffic report. On a Friday morning, we will roll right back at you.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Hey there, I'm Tim Gordon, and we've crested over the middle of the week, and it's a downhill cruise from here to the weekend. We're expecting to see more sunshine, so to help you get out and enjoy it, we've got a few local events for you to check out. Starting with National Public Lands Day. The Pacific Northwest is home to some of the most beautiful scenery in our national parks, and this Saturday you can get out and enjoy them for free. Head on down to Crater Lake, up to Lewis and Clark National Historic Park in Astoria, or keep it closer to the metro and visit Fort Vancouver. For more information, head to the National Park Service website. And sticking with our nature theme here, this weekend also happens to be Zootoberfest. As you might have guessed from its name, it's Oktoberfest, but at the zoo. Friday through Saturday, over 45 local breweries and cideries will have samples of their seasonal offerings while you enjoy the animals, live music, and more. For information and ticket prices, head to the Oregon Zoo's website. For something a bit more out there, why not a whole festival just for bread? Yeah, gluten, go gluten. It's this Sunday from 10 to 2 at Avenue Portland off Northeast Grand. The Farmers Market style event will feature a lineup of what they call local bread bakers, pastry wizards, and carb-loving creators from across the region. It'll cost you $5 at the door. You can find more information by checking out Breadfest PDX on Instagram. And finally, it's the most quintessentially Portland festival of the year. The Portland Weird Fest returns for its second year this Saturday from 11 to 5:30 at Oaks Park.